All right, so those are just some of the top stories that we're looking at. Like I mentioned, we always like to hear your thoughts on our coverage. We'd like you to, of course, chime in and channel all that through the hashtag KTN News Center, or you can tweet me at Betty M. Kialo. All right, so like I mentioned, I want us to get this going, and the Mombasa County government is undertaking a beautification program that is set to change the face of the coastal city. The government has directed that buildings in the central business district should be painted blue and white, while those in the old town should be painted beige. And our coastal affairs reporter Tobias Chanji now gives us a comparative analysis of the face of the same city, two faces really of the same city. Tobias, good morning. So talk to us about this beautification program. It's not the first time that we're seeing this, so what really is different?
Good morning, Betty. Actually, I'm the Mombasa Old Town, and as you've rightly put it, Mombasa is getting a double face, whereby the CBD is being painted white and blue colors, while where I'm standing with the old town is being painted beige. Maybe just to give a brief history about this old town, is that the town was started in the 16th century, and this was the headquarters of the Mombasa County at that time. Then also, some of the attractions at this old town includes the Fort Jesus. So the county government has started a program where, because most of the structures here are old enough and some have been cracking and some were even falling out. So the county government of Mombasa started the program of painting all the buildings here in the color of beige. We're hereby joined by one of the county officials who's going to tell us more about the program, when they started and when maybe the criteria that they're going to use to paint all the structures here. Just tell us your name. My
name is Mudathir Abdul Karim, the Deputy Director of Communications, Mombasa County. Yes, this program, in line with Governor Joho's vision, His Excellency the Governor, of making Mombasa a vibrant commercial hub and a force to reckon with in the region. The city not only had to look good, but it has to look spectacular. And that is why the rejuvenation of Old Town project started. And the whole idea is to, one thing that we need to understand is the Old Town hosts a World Heritage Site, that is the Fort Jesus Museum. When hosting a World Heritage Site, it should be the most and highly tourist attractive area in the whole region. One of the coast region, Fort Jesus is the only heritage site apart from the Lamu town as a World Heritage Site. And the rejuvenation of the old town, the colors that were done are earthly colors to conform with the World Heritage status of the fort and to complement the fort. As people tour the Fort Jesus Museum, they also tour the old town and get a chance to sample our sumptuous cuisine. They get this chance to sample our culture. They get this chance to sample our heritage. And this is why it should be the most spectacular place in town. And we adopted the colors that we have in the old town.
Still on that, you are going to host a global event, a tourism event, come next, I think, September. Tell us more about that. Is it that event that has done you guys to paint the area?
Well, the event will be one of the beneficiary of what we are doing in the whole area or the whole county. If you look at the CBD right now, it looks spectacular, it looks good. But what informed the decision for us to move towards this particular direction is a research was done in Europe of youth around 18 to 35 years of age. That informed what we did today, because the research stated what do you look for as a destination of choice when you go for pleasure or for business, and mostly for pleasure. And overwhelmingly, most of them said it should be Instagrammable. And that is what informed this decision. And what we are doing now is just simply conforming to some of the best cities in the world or best practices in the world that they have done. Like, for example, Morocco, Maldives, and other areas that you've seen. So in order for us to rejuvenate and make the place lively, make the place more spectacular for photos, and make the tourism experience very exciting for the person, and make the person actually want to come again, is to make sure that the place looks not only clean, but pleasing to their eye and attractive to everyone.
Most of the structures here were constructed in the year 1593, and actually most of them are falling off. Maybe which plans do you have, apart from painting, Do you have plans to construct maybe new structures?
Most of these structures are owned by private individuals, and we are working very closely with the National Museums of Kenya to make sure that the structures are habitable and they are good and sound for people to live in and very safe. Yeah? And the museums have the Old Town Conservation, Mombasa Old Town Conservation Office that directly deals with that particular issue. And Mombasa County government is closely working with them to ensure that all structures here are habitable and safe for the people of Old Town, while at the same time trying to conserve our heritage and making it pleasing and beautiful for everyone to come and not only see, but also enjoy.
Are you also going to do the same for Jesus?
Well, For Jesus Museum is covered under the National Museums Act and Heritage Monument. What needs to be done is to restore it in the way it was or it has always been. Painting is not necessarily for it, but what needs to be done is appropriate restoration measures that architectural sound and conform to conservation movement and acts of monuments and acts, and it should be restored to its own spectacular form.
And is it the county government that is painting or individual?
Most of the areas that are being covered are by individuals themselves who feel the need to do it, yeah? And county government is supplementing on areas that are required.
What's the deadline maybe?
People should do it as soon as possible. The more it's being done is very pleasant to everyone. And that is highly welcome. The deadline is around by the end of this month or very beginning early of next month. People should all conform to this. And for more information, the CC in charge will share in a later interview.
Well, Betty, that's what we've heard from the county official from here in Mombasa. Actually, the Old Town sits on 72 hectares of land, which is about 180 acres of land. And most of the things that people are doing here, most of the guys are fishermen. Just from here, we don't have any more.
All right.